Jason Rogowski just got home from class, and he's having a little something to keep him going.
You heat it up right until it's about to boil.
There are 4 spoons of coffee and 5 sugar cubes in that little pot. Jason says he used to be a big coffee drinker, but he's been cutting back.
It was just excessive, just ridiculous how much coffee I was drinking. No, I don't paint, I don't write poetry, I don't act, I don't read too much anymore. I just sit in the coffee house all day long, drink coffee, and act cool. And yes, I have found fulfillment.
That's from one of Jason's greeting cards. They started out as scribbles on a coffee house napkin, and now you can buy them in 3 states. If some of them look a little busy, well, Jason's personal record is 5 double espressos in a row.
Then I think I just lay down in bed and twitched for a while.
Last summer, Jason's body started telling him something was wrong.
I just got really sick, just blood in my urine.
He doesn't blame it all on coffee, but he figures those high doses of caffeine didn't help any either.
Among people we've seen here in our clinic, there have been people who drank 22 cups a day and who seem to feel fine.
Dr. David Robertson is head of clinical research at the Vanderbilt Medical School, where they've been studying caffeine for several years. He says sometimes your mind feels it more than your body.
I do believe that most of the effects on the wakefulness and so forth are elicited by about 1 cup's worth of coffee. So people don't necessarily notice a lot more effects when they take a lot more than that.
So I took a few days off of work, and I decided, well, I better not be drinking coffee for a while.
Jason says he's slowly becoming a tea drinker. Tea has caffeine too, but usually not as much. He told us he needs a little lift once in a while, though, just to stay awake through school and his part-time job at a coffee house. Craig Owensby, News Channel 5.
I still appreciate, when the coffee just comes out.
Scenes like this are hard to find in Middle Tennessee. Nashville has only 3 coffee roasting companies, and 2 of them are small operations, like this one at Bean Central on West End. It was a different story 100 years ago, when Nashville had about half a dozen big coffee processors, and the most famous was the Maxwell House plant on 2nd Avenue, named after a local hotel that's still here but in another building. Now, small coffee shops are becoming a big business. This is the Bongo Java coffee house on Belmont Boulevard, one of 6 or 7 places around Nashville which some coffee drinkers call the bars of the 90s. You stay sober and you make conversation. What a concept.
I think people are looking for an alternative to bars, and that's what this place has become, or places like this have become.
It's a less decadent age. I think everybody's trying to cramp down and do a lot of work, and so coffee just helps you do that, I guess.
I think the appeal lies in the fact that you have a lot of smart people who hang out here. You know that before you come here. You can get your work done, and you're going to have really interesting conversation.
Now, obviously, the idea of people sitting around drinking coffee and talking is nothing new, but the rise of places like this around Nashville in the last few years is looking like one more example of a West Coast trend coming to the middle of the country. Tate Holland just moved here from Los Angeles.
We have a lot of these in LA, but didn't really expect to see it here.
Finally, I think they're understanding that everybody doesn't eat grits and some of the southern things. I mean, some of us bring some good things also.
Oh, it's definitely a coffee culture, because coffee is a habit that if you drink coffee in the morning, you probably drink it every morning. And if you don't, you miss it.
Nashville's one remaining maker of grocery store coffee says the specialized places are good for their business too, because it gets new people interested in a drink they might not try otherwise. But there's more to this than what's in the cup. All of this coffee house business is a sign of social change as well, an alternative meeting place based on talking instead of drinking. And even the Wall Street Journal says our local coffee houses are one more proof that Nashville really is becoming a big city. Craig Owensby, News Channel 5.